What we can get there. Ela told us, Yaakov, these are the children of Yaakov, Yosef. We speak of the children of Yaakov, or the chronicles of Yaakov, Yosef and Chumash Rashi. Yosef, when he was 17, Roeh, Es Echo Batzon. He was the leading shepherd, together with his brothers, regarding sheep. Vunaris bnei Bilov, es bnei Zilpa, bnei Sheyoviv. Vunar. What's Vunar? So Rashi says he did acts of narus, of immaturity. Together, he was associated with the children of Bil and Zilpo, the wives of his father. It doesn't refer to as Pilak Sheyoviv. Normally they're referred to as Pilegish, right, the concubines. Here they're referred to as Nesheyoviv, the wives. The Yovi Yosef is the Bosamra Lavim. Yosef brought the bad talk to his father. He tailbeared. Rashi. Ela told us Yaakov. Ela shall told us Yaakov. Ela yishuvim guleim atshabo lechlal yishuv. This is all the background and involvements until they finally came to settle. Sibri Shona, Yosef and Chumash Rashi. See, what's his name? Base. Yep. Yosef and Chumash Rashi al Deza and his Galgul Yordan Mitzrayim. All what involved the various locations of where they settled was the first reason was Yosef was 17. I think it's Galgul Yordan Mitzrayim. Zeo achi yishuv pshuto shal mikro lios dover dibra al fanav medja godo doresh tola kosef told us Yaakov Yosef that all that happened to Yaakov had relevance to Yosef, and they come at Dvorim. Thank you. Achas shkol asmu sheYaakov lo oved el etzuloven el berochel. Firstly, why did Yaakov kill himself to work the 7 years by Lavan? Only because of Rachel. Leah only came into the picture was he was deceived by his father-in-law. So how did everything come about? Evolve afterwards, because initially he went to marry Rachel. Now the question is, what does that have to do with it? There's two here. Yep.
What's your question?
We're saying he was the cause. When it says, Ela told us, Yaakov Yosef was Yosef. Everything evolved because of Yosef. First of Rachel. Secondly, because his facial features were similar to his father. Of Komashi, really Yaakov, really Yosef. Whatever transpired to Yaakov, transpired to Yosef. He had Zen Nistam is in Nistam. Yaakov was hated. Yosef was hated. Ze Ochiv Mevakish Lahorgo. Yaakov's brother wanted to kill him. Ze Echov Mevakish Lahorgo. Chen Harbi Breishis Rabbo. There are a lot of parallels between the life of Yaakov and the life of Yosef. Shall I explain why there's such parallels? What's the value of the parallels? Why are there such parallels? What? Therefore what? So what? Because Yaakov...
You have different generations.
No, because the challenge always brings the potential to fruition, right? So what brought Yaakov's potential to fruition. What actualized his potential? The challenges. All his experiences. Whether it was his brother hated him, whether he had to go to Golus, whatever it was. Yosef having the identical potential as his father, or within a certain, to a certain degree, he had to meet the same challenges. If his brothers had to hate him, he had to be sold, he had to go into exile, and he had to endure whatever his father endured to bring it to actualize his potential. Vayeishev Yaakov b'shalvo. He wanted to sit in tranquility. Yosef. So the wrath of Yosef came upon him. Tzadikim vakshim leishiv b'shalvo. Tzadikim, they want to dwell in peace, tranquility. Oh my Kodesh Baruch Hu, lo dayin letzadikim Hashem sukan lem lo l'mabo. It's not sufficient what the tzadikim have in the world to come. Elam vakshim leishiv b'shalvo b'l'maseh. It's interesting. Let's say Yaakov wouldn't have wanted to be b'shalvo. Seems this wouldn't have happened. What activated it? This mindset. I want to be b'shalvo. Right? That's what it says. So Hashem, even it's not enough. So let's say he wouldn't want to be Yosef b'shalva. So what would have been Yaakov's mindset? Understand? Which means what I'm saying is, why was he separated from his father for 22 years? Because he had to atone for what? For the measure. Okay? Yaakov evidently felt that whatever he endured, evidently he had no debt. His debt was he had enough. His debt was paid off. But if you have debt and debt's not paid off, then we have a problem. So therefore, HaKadosh Baruch Hu had to what? Had to create this scenario. Now he understands you're not as perfect as you think you were, or it's not. Things are not settled yet. The debt is not settled. But that's not the mashmos. That doesn't seem to be what Chazal is saying. I mean, it's not enough for tzaddikim. What they have in Olam Haba, they need shalva in this world, right? That's the Chazal. It's not because he needs the challenge or he needs the suffering to atone for what he has to atone for. No, but you understand that.
Seemingly, even if you were perfect, you could never.
Right. That seems to be. Yeah, I understand that. I mean, but what's the value? Of course, what Yaakov was going to sit around. Hello, Leish. Think he's sitting under a beach umbrella for the rest of his life here? Of course, he's going to be dedicated to Torah, right? He wanted shalva. Shalva means like an inner peace. He's been battered like consecutive, one after another, right? Wants some shalva. So what does he get? He gets something worse than everything combined. Yosef, what he suffered with Yosef was worse than Rachel, worse than Dinah, worse than everything. But why? I mean, why? What's the shalva?
Other questions sort of the same. Yaakov's bracha is called Kol Yaakov, and we assume that he's going to do Kol Yaakov.
No question.
Right, no question, right? So then what's the purpose of the Lahova that we talked about? That's the flame of Yosef. If the flame was to extinguish Esau, Yaakov is doing what he's doing.
Not to extinguish it.
Where does he need flame to extinguish the straw?
It's not extinguish, to consume.
Consume.
That's what Rashi says. Eish.
Is he consuming money?
No, not consume, not consume. There you're holding him at bay. One is actually negating him. That's what Rashi says. If you have fire and you have straw, but has the fire reach out and consume the straw? For that you need the flame. Yosef was able to extend Yaakov to consume Esau. Otherwise, each one is in their own arena. You have fire, you have straw. Now, how do you attach the fire to the straw? That you need the flame. Yosef was the attachment. Okay, so it's more than just Kol Yaakov, then the Yadayim and not Yidei Esau. That means he's kept at bay. But what negates him? I mean, one spoke about this. So what does Yosef do? Factually, Yosef, at this point, he's ready to go back. What is that? He's ready to go back. Seemingly, the negation is not only physical, right? Like we said, Kol Yaakov, Esau can't do anything to him. Right? It's the spirituality. He's able to counter, which means he goes out and whatever he's generating, he vaporizes that negative. Whatever he generates negatively, Yosef is able to vaporize that. It's more than keeping it at bay. He subdues it. He subordinates it. That's what Yosef does. Kol Yaakov, then the Yadayim and not Esav. Esav cannot harm us. But what about what he represents? His representation is negative. We're all affected by it. Yosef, he counters that effect, seemingly.
Can you say that the lack of shalva is that Yaakov makes that crucial decision, keep it on the hand versus the spirituality of Israel? He gives the money to Eliphaz, and that
Correct.
sets the tone for the whole story.
Right.
He kills Eliphaz, which he could have.
Right.
Okay? Then he goes, he spends a week, gets Rachel, comes back home, gets married, spends the time with his parents. He misses his mother's death. He misses his father's death.
His father, he came back to his father.
Okay. But he's...
Yeah, but
he
again...
violates Kibbutz of Ein.
But that was an overriding factor. He felt that was an overriding factor.
How do we know that that's the right thing?
That was his decision.
That was his decision. That when you see he's
But it seems that he wouldn't have been punished. He wouldn't have been punished. It's only Kovso Rogzo Shel Yosef. So there are two ways. I said something a week ago, 2 weeks ago on the CD. And the other thing I said last week, one thing I said, really, it wasn't a chet. It wasn't a sin that he deserved to be punished. I spoke Yisurim Shalava. I don't know if you heard the CD. Yisurim Shalava means that even though you don't deserve to be punished as sinning, but because Kadosh Baruch Hu wants to increase the schar of a tzaddik, if he has nothing to attribute it to, he will not punish him, even to increase the schar. He's not going to make his life more difficult. I cited the Gemara by Rabbi Danossi with the calf. He says, go to slaughter because you were created for that. So that, because he displayed a lack of compassion, therefore he suffered for 13 years. And when he displayed compassion for the what's it called? For the rodents that were being swept out of the house, for the weasel, so that corrected that. So that's Yisurim Shalava. What's wrong with saying it's true? Lack of sensitivity. That's enough for Hashem to say, there's a reason now to make things complicated for you, to increase. But let's say he's perfect. Just to create complications and pain in a person's life, Hashem doesn't do that. So I said, with Yaakov, the Cheshman, his calculation was correct. But factually, your mother wasn't honored for 22 years, right? But it's not a sin because it was justified. But nevertheless, your mother wasn't honored. So now when he goes and he does something, Leisha B'Shalva, now you want it. Okay, now I have what to hang my hat on.
But your mother didn't rest either.
No, but it wasn't. But it was. Now there's a claim against you. But it's not a sin. What he did was not a sin because it was justified. His calculation was a justified calculation. So because of Klal Yisrael, for the sake of Klal Yisrael, like Pikuach Nefesh, a person has to go to battle to save a person's life, and he can't go and honor his mother. There's no claim against the person. That's what he's supposed to be doing.
It would not have been a sin either had he killed Eliphaz.
No, I understand that. You're right. It would have been a sin, but what would have been the consequence of that? There would have been, Klal Yisrael would have been at a lesser level, because he would have been diminished, right? So therefore, for him not to be diminished, that was a correct calculation.
How are you diminished when you do the right thing?
Can I ask you a question? You have to clean out a sewer, right? When you come out, how do you smell? Not like a rose, correct? You did the right thing. Same thing. You have to do what you have to do, but factually there are. But over here, you become a different human being. You become a different human. Once you've killed, you become a different human being. It's a fact. We find by the Rameir Simcha says when Pinchas killed Zimri, it says Nosatil Chabrisi Shalom. I'll give my covenant of peace. So he says, you know how violent that act was, and the way he killed them with a spear through their genitals, and the way he displayed them. How are you not affected negatively with that? You become a different human being. Nosatil Chabrisi Shalom. I'll give you a special grace of peace to counter that act should not have any negative effect on you. Because afterwards, you become, after doing that, you become desensitized for human life. After doing such a act of cruelty, it's an act of cruelty, even though it's justified.
But I remember the few different kings he must have killed.
That was miraculous. It was like, you know what I mean? He threw this, he threw that.
The arrows, okay, but
Yaakov, firstly, Avram is not Yaakov. Yaakov is Klal Yisrael. Avram's not Klal Yisrael.
No, but the whole idea of the root of the tree is still alcohol.
No, but it's not a sin. It's not a sin.
I'm sorry.
It's not a sin. It's not.
a sin either.
No. You're right. He's the tree, but what's the fruit? The tree already is now more advanced. Now we're ready to produce the fruit. Okay. You're right. That's why David. That's why he couldn't build the Beis Hamikdash, because he had blood on his hands. Even though it was justified, he was obligated to conquer. He had obligation to conquer the land. One second. So again, let's try this. It's not enough what's waiting, what's been perfected for them in the world to come. But they want to have tranquility in this world. What it seems to be is, it's a person does the slightest act, and the return is literally, relatively speaking, infinite in terms of your investment. Right? What's our input? I mean, if you go according to the Medrash, Hashem gives you everything: your arm, your intelligence, your ability, and then you get full credit for your action. Although Hashem's input is 99.999%, right? That's the Medrash. Whatever you do, Hashem is the greatest investor, and He's the participant. But He gives you full return, as if the investment is fully your investment. Correct? So what do you invest? The invest is that you have no peace, that you're committed to the master continuously. You want shalva? It's mesukam olam haba. What's waiting for the world to come really you have no relevance to what you accomplished. It's literally, it's a gift. It's really a gift. A person says, give me a penny, I'll give you a return. And he returns $1 billion on a penny. Isn't that a gift? Is that a realistic return? I mean, it's beyond anything. It's not. The person wants to give you a gift. He has an excuse as well, but you gave me something for this. So it's not a gift, but it is a gift. That's exactly. So the tzaddikim, everything they have waiting for the world to come, and they want to have peace in this world. So what's the challenge of life? The challenge of life is that you to indicate your level of dedication, that you're on call continuously, that there is no let up.
Can't we say peace in this world means that whatever is happening to the tzaddik is that they should have? Yaakov wants that he can deal with everything with shalva, that everything is equal.
You want to know
bad,
something?
Good, bad,
in life, you have to take it the way it's given to you. It's not the way you want it. Hashem gives you your portion or your situation. He has a reason for giving it to you. That. So you say, well, I want peace. I've had enough. I want tranquility. You understand? But He gave it to you for a reason.
No, but to deal with that, with peace, to deal with everything that happens.
But again, why did He give you not peace? Why did He disrupt that peace?
But it is peace. That's everything that happens to you is Hashem is for the good. Everything that happens.
Yeah, but that's not shalva. Shalva doesn't mean for the good. It's for the good. A person breaks his arm, and he goes to a hospital, and when he's out of his house burns down. He would have died. He would have been in his house. It was for the good that he broke his arm, right? It's for the good.
Right.
But breaking an arm is breaking an arm, right? He wants shalva. He said, I've had enough turmoil in my life. For the past 36 years, I've been on the run, and during that time, I suffered endlessly. I want to have some peace, some tranquility. Hashem says, it's not enough. It's not enough what's waiting for you. I've given you the store plus. And in addition, you want peace, you want to have tranquility.
You could ask for less aggravation. You don't have to ask for tranquility. Okay? Because you can say, give me less to us.
See, the question is, there's no question. When Yaakov asked, when Yaakov asked for tranquility, there's no question he felt that, did he feel that the lack of tranquility interfered with his avodas Hashem? Did he? Maybe he did. If he did that, then it's difficult. Because then asking for tranquility is what? Is directly related to his level of service. Right? unless he could have accomplished the same with lack of tranquility, and he wanted tranquility. In his mind, he felt he'd be able to serve Hashem to a greater degree in a state of tranquility. But fact, Hashem knows better.
He always seemed to feel that he wasn't worthy. So if he felt that he wasn't worthy, then he may not be getting the reward of this, and he might as well get.
No, but now he survived. Every tzaddik feels he didn't accomplish sufficiently, right? But after he survived Esav. So he sees it wasn't this lachti bechet. He sees he wasn't soiled with sin. Otherwise, he wouldn't have survived. So now he sees where he is. But since then, other things happened. Okay?
But here he loses his nevuah. So going to Alan's point, he's dissipated at that point. What can he do? He's mourning, and we say if there's no joy, you can't have nevuah.
Howard, it's good. He just overshot the runway. Howard. It's a question. But that's always that way. You understand? Whenever you do the wrong thing, you get slapped.
Right.
And when you get slapped, sometimes you have a level of setback which you wouldn't have had if you wouldn't have gotten slapped.
Right. So here's the mantle is going to Yosef at that point. He can't.
He's not giving any mantle. Where does it say he's giving a mantle?
Well, Yosef at this point.
We talk about the carrot and the stick. Well, what mantle is he giving Yosef? It says he loved him. He gave him. Yaakov is not a shepherd at this age. He's a shepherd. More than a shepherd, what do we see over here? What mantle is he giving him? Not giving. It says he loved him.
He's the Bechor. He's the person who's going to carry on. He's the one who's going to get the Masorah to carry on the world. It's because of him.
Okay. What you're saying has, everything, the Rishonim say that everything has to have an element of truth. Doesn't mean the rest, otherwise it wouldn't stand. But it doesn't mean, you understand?
Oh boy!
It's spark. It has little small speckles of truth, but the totality is not. It's not correct what you're saying.